Today, I will talk about a bear attack on two wrestling teammates out of the four that were on this trip. The story takes place outside of Cody, Wyoming in ShoShone National Forest. Now, before we begin, I want to go over the dangers of bears. I've seen many posts online as to how they're very cute looking animals and they don't pose any danger in many of these videos. We need to understand these animals may look cute and docile, but they aren't. They can change that in a moment's notice. Any animal built like a tank, runs as fast as a horse, has razor-sharp claws, and an intensely powerful bite can seriously injure any one of us in a matter of seconds if it doesn't kill us. If you want to see these animals, I recommend visiting a local zoo, but if you do encounter one in the wild, it's best for everyone to watch from a very far distance, which can only depend on the bear, or don't go in a place of bear activity at all. Other than that, everyone needs to be fully prepared to protect themselves and their loved ones when in bear country, with either bear spray or a high caliber rifle/pistol, or what I would recommend is both. On the morning of Saturday, October 15th, 2022, Kendall, Cummings, Brady, Lowry, Orrin Jackson, and August Harrison finished their wrestling practice. They all then decided to travel to ShoShone National Forest in order to collect their antler sheds. This act is also called shed hunting, where hunters go after antlers of deer, elk, and moose. The terrain of ShoShone National Park is sagebrush, flats, and rugged mountain peaks. Once they had left practice, they traveled outside of Cody, Wyoming, which was a 30-minute drive. They were careful enough to carry bear spray with them and one firearm. They all also had quite a bit of knowledge of the back country. Once they had arrived there, they traveled together for about 6 miles, enjoying the views and time together. They climbed over hills and small mountains through open plains. At the end of it, they all had collected a small amount of sheds. They decided to head back, but as they did, the four friends got separated. Kendall and Brady were together, while Orrin and August were together. After being happy with what they had found, they started to make their way back. They were going down a mountain when they started to notice quite a bit of bear scat, which is another way of saying bear poop. Immediately, they knew to continue moving along and trying to get away from that place as soon as possible. A few seconds later, a bear emerged without warning, charging Brady before he could engage his bear spray. Brady was standing on a small ledge at the time, so the bear knocked him off. The bear started to attack Brady. Kendall rushed to help. At first, Kendall just tried to distract the bear by yelling and throwing rocks. They had no effect on the bear. When that didn't work, he physically tried to pull the bear off his friend. He did this by pulling on the bear's ear. At that point, the bear let go of Brady and started to viciously attack Kendall. Kendall, successfully getting the bear's attention, backed up as the predator reared up towards him. He described the sensation of the bear's putrid breath filling his nostrils and himself with a sense of dread. It got him on the ground and started to bite down his head. And Kendall stated, "I could hear when his teeth would hit my skull. I could feel when he would bite down on my bones and they would kind of crunch." Kendall said he couldn't feel the attack as the adrenaline had already filled his veins. The attack stopped after a short while. Even though Kendall was injured badly, his thought was not of himself, but of his friend. He got up and called out to Brady. The bear heard him calling and then came back and attacked him again. After a few minutes, the attack stopped. This time, Kendall remained still for a few minutes to ensure that the bear would not attack again. While Kendall was getting attacked, Brady was able to run down the mountain and call help. He was able to call 911 and also get a hold of his friends Orrin and August, who had gone down the basin. After they were able to hear and understand what Brady was saying, they ran up the hill and tried to get to Kendall's. They were fully prepared to see Kendall dead, as many don't survive a bear attack. But Kendall wasn't dead. He was actually walking down the mountain. He had gotten up after the bear had gone and was making his way down this mountain, where he was able to finally meet up with Orrin and August and Brady, and they were able to help him start moving him towards the trailhead that they had come from. As they were making their way back towards the trailhead, they were able to get some help from local farmers who were able to lend them a side-by-side. While on the side-by-side, Kendall was able to see the extent of the damages that were caused to him by the bear. He couldn't feel anything because of the adrenaline rush. Kendall stated that the wind, it was blowing onto my skull, and it was getting pulled. That hurt. It was miserable. All the bumps, too, that was the worst part. Kendall was life-flighted from the scene to St. Vincent Healthcare in Billings, Montana. Brady, on the other hand, was taken to Cody Regional Health by ambulance. After being diagnosed with a serious compound fracture in his left arm, Brady was transported to Billings by ambulance. It will take months for the grapplers to recover from their life-threatening injuries they've suffered. It will likely be the last season for both at Northwest, as Kendall is a sophomore and Brady is a redshirt sophomore. Both said they plan to hunt and wrestle in the future and will rejoin the team at practices as soon as possible. They both hope to return to the competition sometime this season. This is not just friendship, this is a brotherhood. This is someone who's willing to risk their life to save your own. This is the type of friendship that we all want to have, someone who's there for us in our times of needs. I wish Kendall and Brady a speedy recovery, and I hope to see them on that mat again and hopefully have a great rest of their life. Once again, be careful, be safe, be aware.